Okay, we're back on another tree project. This field is obviously familiar because a couple years ago it had all trees in it. But this time around we got some trimming to do. We got a tree that's got to die. I got a pile that needs burnt that still needs burnt from last go around. Drove this up here yesterday after work so that it was ready to go. I apologize that videos have been few and far between and kind of the same subject matter. This has been my main goal since we got done with harvest, was doing as much tree work as I can. I was hoping to start on my hayloft, but I decided I'm going to push that off till after the first of the year so I can throw that on next year's taxes. So we'll see that after the first of the year. Here over Christmas, I want to get the grain drill apart, start working on that seed drive transmission. So we're going to start changing things up, and hopefully the videos will start coming a little faster. But you can always tell when this time of year hits, because basically every channel statistic I have takes a nosedive, because you quit running equipment and you basically quit appealing to the general audience. So everybody wants to see equipment running, nobody wants to see the mundane general day-to-day what it takes to make stuff like this happen. But for everybody that is here, so I got some limbs that need to come down, from here to the corner there. This big guy that's overhanging, now that I got enough pole saw, we're gonna knock it down. I don't think there's really a whole lot I'm gonna screw with much past that, at least for the time being, because I don't want to be down here too terribly long. I mean, we might get some hangers, and it depends on how much time I got. This weekend kind of got screwed up for me because I was planning on having Saturday and Sunday. Well, now Saturday morning I got to come down here with the trailer, pick the Mini up, take it down to the next road, and I'm going to help a guy. He's putting in a sugar shack for making maple syrup, and he needs a trench dug for water and power, and then we got to go out back by his woods, and he's running all underground collection lines, so we didn't have to take him up and put him down every year. So we got to do some trenching for that. So that's going to take up a chunk of Saturday. Then I'll be back here Sunday, so hopefully we can still get it done Sunday. But I want to get all the limbs at least up, get that corner cleaned up, get these two big limbs that shade out a big chunk of the field. Those need to come off. Like I say, I don't think there's a whole lot past that, because a lot of the trees that were on this side growing out, they got ripped out when we did the work, or the big work out here. I want to run this short chunk of back fence line, and I can actually call this a fence line because there's still a fence in it, but this needs shaved up along this fence here. Nice part is the ground's starting to freeze up again, so we're not wallering in the mud. It's probably gonna be, provided we don't get any more rain, it's probably gonna be a little bit before we can go back to chisel plowing, because even though the ground's freezing up, we had some rain, so there's standing water and it's icing, and we just need to let that take care of itself before we go too far at it. There's not a whole lot up against this tree or fence. A lot of it's actually on the other side of the dang fence. Wonder what's the deal with this hill here. I'll only make hay off of that, but this doesn't look like anything happens to it. I'll have to look at the plat book, see who owns that. 'Cause man, if they're not, depending on who owns, I know it doesn't belong on this property. This property, the property line's basically like right on the other side of this fence. Ow, thorn bush. Now man, if I could talk to the landlord and let me just rip this tree line out and farm this side too. But anyhow, we need like these little saplings. All this needs to come out. Anything that's growing through the fence needs to get sawed off. So if I can push this back another 2-3 feet, Probably just reach up with the pole saw and like these limbs that are hanging over, just saw them off right at the top of the fence. That tree's dead. It's just hanging there by, looks like poison ivy vines. We might not even screw with that. That might be a, spray it down real good with Tordon and let it die. Is that poison ivy, or that's a, I think this is poison oak, and I think that's a grapevine for sure, but I think everything else is either poison ivy or poison oak. We're not gonna mess with that. But my goal for today, before I run out of daylight, because I didn't even bring any saws with me or anything, my goal for today is to get this tree rooted out. I think I can do it. I should be able to do it. It's going to take some digging with that machine because I don't have a whole lot of, you know, weight. But hopefully I can get this dug out, get it tipped out. I'm sure my landlord is probably going to want the trunk for firewood, and then we'll just get all the brush and throw it on that pile. Most of this is leftover pickings from taking out the tree line. It was all roots and stuff that needed to dry down before it burned, so that should burn pretty good. And then there might be a few things down here that I try to root out. Yeah, other than that, that's kind of what I got going on here. I think between tonight, this is Thursday, so tonight, tomorrow night, possibly Saturday evening or Saturday afternoon, depending on how long that trenching job takes me, and then Sunday hopefully we can have it done. We'll see. But, and it's like I say, I've been doing stuff. It's just nothing's been video worthy. Like Monday evening or after work, whatever you want to call it, I went and got stuff to service my pickup and came back and serviced the Mini for this job. And then Tuesday afternoon I came over to Mom and Dad's and got fuel and went home and serviced the 4150, fueled it up, got it ready to go. Looked at the chisel plow, got my count for shovels that I needed, got shovels ordered. Those showed up today, so I can put new shovels on the chisel plow because it needed them. Yesterday I serviced my pickup, and then today we're doing this. So it's just, there's been stuff going on. It's just nothing worth videoing. It's just that time of year. So hopefully things pick up after Christmas. They ought to. After the first of the year, I got a new turbo elbow for the 4270, but that's basically the extent of the parts I've ordered for that. So after the first of the year, we're gonna start ordering parts for that. I got to get stuff to put head gasket in the 1950T. We got to get the grain drill transmission fixed, and I'd like to go through and get the PTO fixed and possibly get a new hydraulic pump put in the 1600. We'll just have to see how things play out, how much time we got, and all that fancy stuff. So anyhow, oh wow, wasn't meaning to talk for that long. I apologize. She should be warm enough to track out there, so let's go see if we can root out a tree. Well, I tell you what, it was all that poor little thing wanted to roll this thing up out of the hole. That thing's probably, the root ball, if it wasn't sitting on the stump, probably about 5 foot tall. And I bet that trunk's at the base probably about 24. But luckily, if I wasn't able to break it up, I'd have never moved it. We had to go get a saw. But luckily I was able to somehow rip that limb off of it. That guy was right here. And then I was basically able to delimb the main trunk, and that's the only way I could get it out of its hole. So before I run out of daylight, I am going to fill that hole in so we don't got to work around it. And then I guess tomorrow we'll run down here with the saw and chunk this thing up. And I'll probably just take the logs and throw them against that fence for now, because I'm sure that they're going to want to cut them up for fire. I'm not even sure what kind of tree this is. It's junk. I don't know if it's box elder, or I'm not a tree guy, but soft as heck. So probably like gopher wood if you're gonna burn it, but firewood's firewood. So I'm gonna get my hole taken care of, and we'll come back, finish cleaning up this mess tomorrow. Okay, we're back. We had our Christmas party today at work, and I'm not gonna lie to you, I ate so much food, really all I want to do right now is go home and pass out on the couch. But there's work to do, at least till dark anyhow. But I got the saws with me. We can get this tree chunked up. Talked to the landlord last night when I was leaving. He said he wasn't worried about this thing for firewood, just chunk it up and burn it. So that makes that job easier. So yeah. And my trenching job for tomorrow got canceled, so we'll just be able to keep right on going. So I guess while that's warming up and Teeter's doing her sniffing, we can saw this stuff up and get it in the pile, or saw this stuff up to get ready to go in the pile. It's all in a pile. I was hoping to get the stump on top of the pile, but I couldn't get enough of the log cut off. I was a little irked. I started making a cut. Get on the other side. I start like cutting right in here. There's a piece of fence or something growing in there, and I chipped a tooth on a brand new chain, and actually I chipped 2 teeth, and yeah, I wasn't a happy camper when that happened. But anyhow, so that part's done. And the guy that lives in that house there, and fun fact, for I don't know if I got any dirt bike enthusiasts or MX enthusiasts or whatever. If anybody's ever heard of a motocross rider named Michael Aracco, he's got a jump named after him at the Red Bud motocross track. They have the summer nationals there every year and blah blah blah. There's a jump there called Laracco's Leap. Anyway, that's where he used to live. There was a dirt bike track out here and some other stuff, but he has since sold it. Now there's a big excavation contractor that owns it, and he farms it, and I think his eventual goal, at least on this half of it, is to run cattle. But super nice guy. He stopped out here while I was cutting it up and asked if I had any problem. I don't care, it's not my place, but you're gonna help me out. He wants to, when he's fencing this in, he's gonna spend some money, put in a nice high tensile and white picket and blah 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 blah, make it, he's got that place looking really nice. But he wants to take out all these trees, that way there's nothing falling on his nice high dollar fence. I told him I don't care, talk to Paulie, which I don't think Paulie will care either, but we get them trees out of there, get this fence out of here, and open this all up, and that would make this real nice. So hopefully that comes to pass. And he's an excavation contractor. He's got a lot bigger machines than I do. It'd probably take him an hour to do what it'd take me a week. So anyhow, I'm gonna fiddle around a little bit here with my last bit of daylight. We'll come back in the morning and hopefully light this puppy. I don't have a whole lot of small stuff in there, so I don't know if it's gonna catch or not, but we'll give her a good old college try. All right, here we go again. I already got my good stuff stuffed here. I found a decent hole to put it in, so hopefully I figure since there's more big stuff on here, this pile might need a little more persuasion. So that's one of the old tires off that New Idea manure spreader I redid. I think it'll go. I think it's in a decent enough hole there. I'll pull some of the small stuff over top of it, and as long as you can get a bed of coals going, it'll go. Well, I had to leave for an hour to go get another extension for the pole saw because I'm pretty sure our original one, the old one, stripped out. Because you stack everything together and you'd start making a cut and all of a sudden nothing would happen. So I took that out, put it together with my new extension and just the saw. It worked just fine. So it took me 2 hours between going to the steel dealer, getting that. I figured it was noon by that point, stop and get lunch, get back. Now it's 12:30 and the pile is, once it took, it didn't take long. So, but I'm gonna throw that new extension in. You can get just the drive shaft and coupler, but they didn't have any in stock, and he said because they're in their slow season, they're only making stock orders about once a week. And with next week being Christmas, he said I probably wouldn't see anything till the week after. It's like, well, I kind of want to get going again today, so I just bit the bullet and spent the $100 and got a new extension. The old one we'll keep around, and if we decide to fix it, then we can fix it and have it for a spare or whatever. But I'm almost done with this side anyhow. I got basically one tree left with some limbs on it. I need the extension, the 2 extensions to get to, and then this side will be done. All right, this side is done. I was able to push everything back to the fence. There was a few that are on that side of the fence that were hanging over this way that I was able to take the pole saw and just whack them off and above the fence, follow them on this side and get rid of them. Like there. That stuff you see right there that's still hanging over, and that scrubby stuff there, that's there because it's all covered in poison ivy vines and I'm definitely not messing with it. That stuff we can try to kill with some Tordon or something, deal with it after it's all dead and dried out. But and there's this viney stuff. This is all grapevines, but same thing, it's all tied up in the fence, and we'll just have to try to kill that with some herbicide or something, get rid of it. But it's definitely a lot. Like the excavator right now is basically sitting on the edge of where I chisel plowed, so I've pushed everything back 10 feet maybe. And I probably won't, like I say, like most other places, I probably won't farm over much further, but that's going to, you know, you get rid of all the shade right here, it's just going to make the edge of the field that much better. So, but now I'm going to grab the pole saw and walk that side. I don't think, like I said earlier, there's not really a whole lot over there, I don't think. I wasn't planning, I didn't think there was a whole lot over here, and 3 hours of cutting later, here we are. But so I'll just go do it. There ain't no sense video in it. You guys know what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take the pole saw, I'm gonna cut some limbs off, and it's gonna be it. So we'll catch you here in a little bit. Okay, we skipped ahead a little bit on you. I got it kind of into a groove and forgot to come back and get the camera. As you can see, we made, I mean, it's a lot more visual in person. It's hard to tell exactly how much I just shaved off of this side, but it's a lot. I could probably honestly do some more on it. It'd be really nice if I could just take this tree line out completely and just have it clear all the way to the road. I was kind of hoping, and it still might, I don't know if they're going to come this way or not. Got some free fence row cleaning at Grandma and Grandpa's because of the power, or the AEP is coming through and cleaning up all of the right-of-ways. And they're moving a couple lines. So the field at Grandma and Grandpa's, where it curves around, so you got the field down on the far side that's split by the waterway, the field on this side of the waterway where it goes up along the road and then curves back behind that house. Basically all those trees now are gone because they're moving the power lines to that side of the road. So I got some free cleaning there, and I was kind of hoping that, because there's lines here, there's a pole there, there's a pole down there. I don't exactly know where they go. Where do they go? Does it do anything? It does not. Literally all that pole is doing is cabling that pole up. That's weird. Okay, well, never mind. It's not a power pole. They just got a cable running across the road to keep that one. Why? So that one down there must be doing the same damn thing. Huh. Anyhow, I was hoping that this would be on the power company's right-of-way clearing, but maybe we'll have to see what next year does, because they've been doing everything that way, and I think they're going to start going this way next summer. We'll see. But pile's burning down. I got about another 100 or so, 150 or so feet. I made it about 2/3 of the way down this one, but probably would have had it done if I wouldn't have been fighting the pole saw. But Shelly and I got dinner plans tonight, so I got to get going, get home and get cleaned up. So we will finish this tomorrow. But we're fishing it off with one heck of a sunset, if I do say so. So we'll catch you guys tomorrow morning to get this finished up. All right, we're back. We're gonna get finished up today. I want to get done here and get the mini back home by this afternoon, because tomorrow our weather's supposed to be atrocious. Freezing rain, transitioning to rain. It's just gonna be a mess. So I want that thing out of here and back in the barn. I've already been down, stirred the burn pile up. It's going again. All I've got to do is basically right here is where I stopped yesterday, so I just got to go down and make the turn and do this little bit right here. And there might be 1 or 2 trees I'm going to get out by the roots down there. I'm not going to get too carried away. Hopefully, like I say, hopefully that whole section will just be completely wiped out, as long as the neighbor there gets permission. So, but pitter patter, let's get at her. Yeah, it took the fire about 2 hours to get going again, but once it did, boy, did it. Hopefully it's... When I rebuilt it, I put the stump from this tree right smack in the middle of the coals, and I started throwing stuff on top of it, which is probably why it took so long for it to get going again. But hopefully it's hot enough to burn that thing up so I don't got to try to bury it. But I pulled out, I don't know, probably 4 or 5 trees along here, limbed that tree. I was contemplating trying to root this thing out, but I just don't think I have enough machine. I mean, anything's possible, but I would have such a big freaking hole by the time I got done, because there's actually another stump. This thing was a double, There's another stump right there, so you'd have to dig clear out. Yeah, it's probably 30 inches at the trunk or at the base or better. But the only two limbs I couldn't get were those two right there. They're too high up for me to get with the pole saw. No, I'm not gonna put a basket on the loader tractor. I've done it before. I've done it one time before, and the whole time it's like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. There's too many ways for that to go south. Guys do it all the time, they get away with it. I'm not that lucky, sure as shit. I'd be up there sawing and a limb would snap off and come down and hit the basket, or go underneath and hit the tractor, or the hydraulic, we'd have a hydraulic line fail. I'm not lucky enough to get away with doing something that stupid. Loaders aren't like man lifts. They don't have all the safety features in place, so if you have a hydraulic failure or anything like that, it's just not worth it. But I guess Shelly bought a new couch, so I got to go home and help her with that, which I'm basically done here anyhow, so let that thing burn for a while and come back and restack it and hopefully get that thing moved home before dark. So with that being said, that's it for this one. We'll catch you guys on the next one, whatever that may be at this point.